On the Paper Talk today, we'll be talking about Frankie de Jong, we'll be talking about Ruben Neves, we'll talk about Jude Bellingham. We're going midfielder-tastic on the Paper Talk. We'll also be looking at the takeover. What is happening? There could be good news on the horizon with the Glazers out. Let's check it out. Jay here, Stretford, Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm sort of at Old Trafford. I'm actually more at Media City, which is because of some dramas you don't need to know about. But we're here anyway, and the weather is mild. Manchester United, of course, through to the FA Cup semi-finals, so a lot of the news is focusing on that. Some of the fallout from that absolute minute of madness from Fulham yesterday, which saw them receive 3 red cards in the space of around 40 seconds, I think it was. But anyway, there's also some other stories that we'll get into. United facing Brighton in that semi-final, and if we beat them and Manchester City beat Sheffield United, then it's a Manchester derby for the FA Cup final. But there's a big if, because Brighton, they're no chumps, are they? Anyway, we're getting some stories. United have been linked with a goalkeeper. Seems odd being linked with a goalkeeper after David De Gea's performance yesterday. I actually thought he was a bit unlucky not to get man of the match. But there's a kid from Anderlecht called Bart Verbruggen. He's only 20 years old, and apparently Erik ten Hag is a fan of him. Dutch press saying that United are monitoring him, looking at him. He's having a good season. Obviously very young. Dutch connection there. We love being linked with Dutch players. There's still a question mark over whether David De Gea is going to sign a new deal, whether Erik ten Hag wants him to sign a new deal. So we'll keep you posted on that one. Now, the Glazers. What is happening with the Glazers and this sale? Now, according to the Mail, the Glazer family are going to sell and move on. It's not going to be this sort of partial sale or this bit where the American hedge fund keep them in power somehow. There was some suggestions that could happen, but apparently not. Apparently it is going to be a full sale, or it's going to be a sale for the Glazer shares, not some sort of shenanigans. This is according to the Mail. So it's now down to whether it's going to be Sir Jim Ratcliffe or Sheikh bin Jassim. We'll have to wait and see what happens on that front. But one thing we can all rejoice in is the fact it looks like the Glazers are going to be going, because there was some concern that this could be a manoeuvre. You could end up with them staying. They could end up getting some funding from the Elliott Group, I think it is, Elliott Management Group, and apparently, according to the Mail, that's not the case. So, as always, we'll keep you posted on that one. If anything develops, then you'll be the first to know. But yeah, looks like we could finally be saying goodbye to the Glazer family. Goodbye and good riddance. On the transfer front, it feels like it's 2019 all over again. We've been linked with Ruben Neves, according to the Manchester Evening News, and I think this may have come from it's come from the Mirror. Wolves are resigned to losing Ruben Neves in the summer. It could be available, I think, if I can find the figure, was around sort of 40, 50 million, which makes a lot of sense. He looked like he was going to go last summer. He didn't. He stayed. He's got a good relationship with the Wolves owners and the Wolves board, so they're willing to let him go this summer. And United have been linked. We've been linked with Ruben Neves for a long time, and we're linked with him again. So we'll have to wait and see what happens on that front. Get involved in the chat and the comments and let us know whether you would like to see the Portuguese international come to Old Trafford. We do probably need another midfielder. We've been linked with a few. Also, João Palhinha, who got man of the match for Fulham yesterday. I like that kid. Been linked with him. Would you rather see Neves, Palhinha, someone else? Let us know what you think. As always, we'll keep you posted. Frankie de Jong. Yes, where would we be without a Frankie de Jong story? Well, the latest story, development report, whatever you want to call it, is he's spoken about a potential move to Manchester United in the way that he always spoke about, or he always speaks about a potential move to Manchester United, by pretty much saying nothing. So he was asked about it. Someone asked for him, a report from Ziggo Sport said, "You won't join Manchester United in the summer." Correct. And de Jong replied, "No, I don't think so. You never know, of course, but I'm very happy in Barcelona." So he's left a little bit of the door open slightly, but it looks like, it's a meaningless comment. Barcelona, of course, had that big win over Real Madrid last night. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens on that front. Is Frankie de Jong going to come in the summer? Possibly. I think there's a chance he will, but it depends on whether Barcelona have to sell him. If they have to sell him, they can convince him to go, then I think he'll come. So there's lots of ifs and buts and maybes. On the Jude Bellingham front as well, talking to midfielders, The Athletic have got a story that basically looks like Liverpool are going to struggle to buy him. They don't want to get into a bidding war for him. And it says here, I'm reading it from the MEN, who reported it from The Athletic, that it's increasingly unlikely that Liverpool will sign Bellingham. Now, he was heavily linked with the move to Anfield. He's apparently got good relationship with Trent Alexander-Arnold, Same with Jordan Henderson from the England camp and stuff like that. There were reports that he's actually a Liverpool fan. Liverpool looked at him as a potential sort of big money midfield signing that they need to bolster their midfield. They've got a lot of ageing midfielders there. When you look at the likes of Thiago, Alcantara, Jordan Henderson, James Milner, I know he plays all over the gaff. They're all the other side of 30. So bringing in someone like Jude Bellingham, who's obviously very young, very talented, makes sense for them. But they might not be able to afford him, and they don't want to get into a bidding war. City, United and Real Madrid all linked with Jude Bellingham. Personally, I don't think United are going to get him. I don't feel like there's enough fire to that smoke of us being interested in him to make that happen. I think if he was going to come to United, he would have come when he left Birmingham. We tried to get him then, but never say never. You don't know what's going to happen, especially if we get new owners who go berserk in the transfer window and want to bring in a load of big marquee signings. It would make a lot of sense. We're going to wrap it up there. Make sure you are getting involved in the chat in the comments. Don't forget as well to hit like, share, subscribe. I'll be back later on with the Paddock podcast. Me and Stephen Howson will be back. So come and check us out. If you've not seen it already, check out all the post-match reaction there. Some funny reaction to that absolute meltdown from the Fulham players and manager as well. I've been Jay Motti. This has been the Paper Talk near Old Trafford when it's starting to rain. Thanks for watching.